my my stuff. My stuff. All right, we're back in it, boys. We are here
Oh, yeah.
to watch some Leprechaun. I'm just seeing. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up with us here.
Good old Leprechaun.
There we go. Damn, we're live on Twitter now. Ain't that a fun time?
Oh, shit.
Hey, what's up, Ryo? How you doing, brother?
Our guy is here. Huh? Day's
Yeah.
not too bad. How's your day? Ready to watch some Leprechaun?
Busy.
better
I got
than
myself a little bit of a cold, so I'll be dribbling and drooling throughout this whole thing. But
More
wasn't
than
gonna miss
usual.
this. Yeah, more than usual. I will not be drinking because I didn't know. Which I gotta say, what I was gonna bring up before we started, and I totally forgot, is so a little behind the scenes, but you know, it's just Rye, so we're good. He can know. Would you be
He's in the
down?
know.
Because you, Cino with Alex from Beyond Podcast.
Yeah.
Have you listened to their podcast yet?
Just the beginning.
Okay. So they do, whenever they cover something, they do like a shot.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, because I said, hey, if you want to bring that on to the Splattercast Cinema, whenever you have a pick and make us a shot to take, like we can pick up the ingredients. Is that something you're going to be able to do with your religion or whatever you classify it as?
Oh my God, my religion.
Yeah.
It depends on. He'd probably have to just let us know what it is or give us a couple
Oh,
choices.
absolutely.
If it's straight alcohol, I'm cool with. If it's
mixers and stuff, that's where it gets dicey.
Yeah. If it gets like if we're talking wines or anything like that, that's where it gets weird. But like straight alcohol, tequila, vodka, any of that stuff, I'm cool with it. There's no problem.
Hell yeah.
It's all the filtration process.
Well, that works for you, boy. Because I thought that'd be fun. They do that on their show. So like whenever they start a new movie or anything, they got a great podcast. Honestly, like I totally would recommend listening to a lot of their stuff because it is well produced.
Sparkling water. I like his style.
I'm only 11, guys. I appreciate it, brother. There you go. Kids wine. Now that's the stuff. All right, that's the the Welchers.
Yeah, meet Mr. Atwood
Stuff.
style.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, that's that's the stuff I would drink all the time at holiday parties. Make me feel real special and big. New Year's, my family would always get that for us.
Something that no one watching would understand, but me and Zoe were quoting Meet Mr. Atwood a couple days ago.
Nice. Which ones?
Nothing ruins an occasion more than a dull knife.
Than a dull knife. Oh, geez, I don't even want to know the context of why you're talking about dull knives.
I think we started with steak naturally.
Okay.
Because I think she had said naturally, and then I repeated that, and then we just started going back and forth with we got down the rabbit hole with a few
Adrian
lines.
and I do that a lot. So yeah, one time I threatened Haley. I said, "Don't make me get Mr. Atwood over here," and she was just like, "What do you think Adrian's gonna do?" Rye, you got some new NECA figures. What'd you pick up?
I think he had the Gremlin, didn't he? He have what's his name? Oh my God!
And we did. Yes, he did want you to know we played some Xbox together a few weeks back.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
A lot of fun. Good time.
Someday I got to get in the video game hole. I'm not too familiar with video gaming.
Got the
one
gremlin,
day.
Like
one day I will.
The gamer gremlin. I've seen that wave, that new NECA wave.
You know what? They need to make the gremlin that turns into a spider from the new batch.
They have it.
Is he a spider?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I'll show you. Since, we have a few minutes, it's our show. We can do this before we get started on the Leprechaun. Plus,
we are not
Rye likes his NECAs, so we can gush about some NECAs, the three of us here. Yeah, you can pick them up at Target right now, bro.
Fucking A. I didn't know that existed. Is he actual spider form?
Yes. All right, this is the. Yeah, this has got to be the one. So they had an older one, but I saw it when I was there. This one seems to be the older one. I'm looking for the. Okay, no, I see what's going on here. So there was the older one is a little bit of a different design. Okay. Let me pull it up on the screen here. We'll just do Big Bad Toy Store for simplicity's sake. They're sold out right now, but I know that I saw it at Target just like a week or so ago. Which, if I see it and you want it, I will grab it for you.
Let me see what this looks like, sir.
Boom.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Gizmo is not included, just so you know. But that's the comparison for you.
Holy crap. That thing is serious. Is it 65 in source?
That's, I think, the price. I think that's retail price, yeah.
Damn.
So it's not bad.
That's not bad at all for that intricate
No,
design.
Rye, they have not made a Leprechaun NECA, and that is something that has been on both Luke and I's want list for a long time.
Man,
Could
they need
you
to.
imagine all the accessories they could put with him, like a little tricycle and all that stuff? Or not the tricycle. What does he have? The big wheel.
Yeah, well, it's a tricycle, isn't it?
Isn't it? I don't know. We'll see. It's in
I
this
thought,
movie. It's in the
yeah,
one we're
we'll
watching
watch
today.
it. Pogo stick, maybe? Give him a
Pogo
stick.
stick would be good. The medallion. You could get a little statue.
Oh, man.
That'd be perfect.
That'd be so serious. And they gotta get the pot of gold.
Yeah, of course. Pot of gold. Give him a couple of shoes to shine.
Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely love
box
it.
of Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they have Funko Pops though for Leprechaun.
Several.
I actually have one in my. Let me cover this up just because I don't know what's in my. I don't want to give away any possible podcast things because I keep a lot of stuff in my cart for potential future uses.
What do you mean, like what
Well,
we're gonna be watching?
That and also things for potential intros, outros, things like that. We've been planning to do for things like Splatterthon.
Splatathon.
You watched every Leprechaun movie yesterday? Good lord, guy.
They were kind of shit. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the fun, though. I think
Yeah,
the first one's really the only good one. And then after that, it's just kind of good fun to be like, well, this is crap, but we're gonna enjoy it anyway.
Sure. Could you shoot us a link, Rye? Then we'll get started here shortly. I just want to pull this up to see. On Leprechaun costumes.
What the fuck does that look like? Leprechaun costumes? Jesus.
Oh, you're right. They do have more than just one, too. This is the one that I was looking at. Let me pull it up here. So,
I love these things.
Yeah. I don't, me, I'm kind of out of the pop game. I've been out for
me
a
too.
bit,
I haven't bought a pop in a hot minute, but horror pops are, they're
absolutely. I still got Jason and Black Phillip. I got like multiple Jasons over there. I refuse to sell them.
I have the Jack Torrance Frozen one. That's probably my favorite, honestly, out of all the horror pops.
It's pretty good. These are cheap as hell right now too because the bottom fell out on pops. So
no one gives a fuck about them anymore. I'm about to sell mine, except the horror ones.
But look,
Well,
I
on
can
the
get
pro
a
wrestling
look at
ones.
that. Remember when the only version of Sam they had was like $200?
Hell yeah. Well, that's what
Eight.
I think that was a problem too, is they keep re-releasing things that no one's gonna go out there and buy them anymore because it's like,
Yep.
well, it just plummets.
Yep.
So unless you're buying something that you really like, I don't think it's a collector's market anymore, really.
Not really. This one I think is the only expensive one. It's only 40.
Actually, I do want that one too.
Yeah. Did you ever get this one?
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, I never did find it at a Spirit Halloween.
Really?
No, I never did, and I never ordered it.
Why did somebody one? I have an extra.
I would buy it. $40.
No, I'm kidding.
Fuck you. I got a pop for Godzilla and Hush from Batman. Nice. Yeah, I used to have a Godzilla pop. I think I actually do still have my Godzilla pop. It's just boxed up somewhere. This is something cool that I saw. I want these. Because like there's like no merch, no NECA figure or
What is that,
anything. For 'em.
Mandy?
Yep.
Do they have a Cheddar Goblin?
No, they don't, but you can get Cheddar Goblin stuff.
I want the plush.
See, look, Cheddar Goblin. Maybe they do. No. You could make a Cheddar Goblin with the Gremlins pops.
Maybe out of a Green Goblin.
Oh, you can get oh, what am I doing? Where's it at? There's one of them. But I've been eyeing getting
The shirt?
Yeah, the tiger. It's around here. It's like $45. It's stupid. They had it on here. Let me see. Nah. Oh well. I'll find it some other time. But yeah, no, I want to get the shirt. I think that'd be quite funny to own. I'd have a good time with that. Had Joel. Had Joel for a while there as well.
Joel.
Let's see. Well, I think we should get the movie started. So,
Let's do it.
as always, guys, if you are watching along with us, if you would like to watch along with us, we are going to start the film now. I'll give updates periodically of the time code if you want to follow along. If not, we're just going to talk, to you guys. We're going to talk about the movie just kind of as we go along. Keep it real casual and fun. I've seen this movie 100 times. I know Luke has too. This is an all-time classic, absolute 90s classic horror film, and a series that we'll definitely be diving into with podcasts and short reviews, probably discussion videos. I would imagine at some point down the road we'll get more sequels or, remakes or whatever the hell they want to do. So
It's getting serious. We already covered the fourth installment
We
on
did.
Better Off Dead.
We did, which was a lot of fun, I gotta say.
Man, Splatterthon.
It's coming up, brother. I know we got a few months, but
We gotta
that's
start
gonna
prepping.
be here. That's gonna be here before you know it. So
Gotta prep.
Ryan's just here to chat and chill as always. So I'm definitely down with that. But yeah, why don't we talk some Leprechaun? Luke, you ready?
I am at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Same. So let's count it down. 3, 2, 1, play. Perfect. I got mine turned down there a little bit. Let's see. We can't wait to do Splatterthon, but it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we're gonna actually prep this year since we're already getting ahead of the game. So
You give us less credit. We prepped, but the problem was I kept adding things onto it as we went along.
that is true. We're
So
gonna have a set schedule. Well, and a lot of stuff came out. We're covering Terrifier and Hellraiser in the same night. A lot of fun, but was pretty hectic.
oh yeah, definitely a night to remember
Yeah.
for sure. They
But,
love to reuse this shot in like all these movies too. Did you ever notice that?
oh yeah, it's like
Yeah,
I
him
think you
coming
have to
down the
make use of it. Look
steps.
how fucking vibrant he looks. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
The green socks.
Rice is excited for the new Transformers movie. I'm interested, just because of the beasts and the director, but I don't know if it's one I'm going to rush out to the theater to see.
Wait, who's directing it?
The guy
I
who did Stephen Caple Jr., the guy who did
oh
Creed 2.
yes.
He's from Cleveland.
Yeah, he is. I'll go and watch it then. Shit. I didn't know that. So Mark
Go
Jones
support.
directed this. Now, I don't know if you know this. I only know it because looked it up a little bit. He wrote 2 episodes of the series you're trying to track down, Werewolf.
Really?
Yes. He hasn't done really anything too much of note, but I did notice that.
Yeah, I need to see that series before I die. Like I promise you, even if I hate the series, the second that thing comes on like Blu-ray, like Scream Factory is like, hey, we're re-releasing it. Like it's an instant pre-order, instant. Because
Yeah,
I
no,
just need to see it.
absolutely. And because it's not, I think you might be able to find it on eBay. At least I tried looking for it. This was ages ago, so I don't know if it still exists, but I think it was like 40 or 45 for like a DVD
You,
copy of it.
you said that we could get a like someone had it and they put it on like a flash drive for like $20,
Yeah.
where it would
Yeah,
just
they
be
had
like
a bunch of
MP4
different
files.
formats out there. I don't know if that exists because that was a while ago. Because we were talking about it.
Primetime Terrors.
There we go.
I feel like that would get some views. I mean, people are probably looking to hear people's opinions on that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But it might be so obscure. I don't know.
That's
People,
true as
it's
well.
hard to track down.
Hmm. So I'm gonna pull some facts as we talk about this too, just some things that I kind of find funny, and one that I looked up earlier, and then I'm just gonna pull up the IMDb one. But um, so did you know that George Lucas receives a special thanks in the credits for this movie? Do you know why?
Do they use this farm?
No.
Oh,
So what happens is he he was under Warwick Davis was under contract with him because they were shooting Return of the Jedi at the time,
oh,
and he had to be given permission to appear in the movie because he wanted to be in this so bad because he was like, yeah, this is my time to shine, baby. And so he had to do it, and George Lucas was like, yeah, go for it. Like I don't care.
damn. In like this film, the original Leprechaun is legitimately one of my favorite horror movies. And like this is a film that
Easily.
could have been bought face value. Like Ryo said, where it's like, a lot of a lot of them are shit. And it's like really when they established this first film, they could have really went like full board with it. And I really feel like they take a hard turn in the comedy where it's like I think horror fans would have bought this. It's like
Oh yeah,
I can totally buy this for an hour and a half. It's like the first one, they hit it. It's perfect. And then it's like, then they kind of take that hard turn and make it too much comedy.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that like they really had something going here. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's we can bash on the sequels, but these movies have a special place in my heart because like Leprechaun and Pennywise, the original Tim Curry Pennywise,
Yeah.
scared the piss out of me when I was a kid. I could watch Jaws, I could watch all kinds of shit just eating people. I could watch Jason, Michael Myers, perfectly fine. But Leprechaun and Pennywise, too much, way too much. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely terrified me. I
And
think
like
there's just something unsettling about them.
this opening scene here, especially when he kills her,
Oh
spoiler
yeah,
for the next couple minutes, and then he's like making her talk is absolutely terrifying. And just him getting out of this bag, oh,
oh
absolutely
yeah, the
scary stuff.
eyes.
Yep.
It's like, and the I love the restraint not to show them too and stuff. But Yeah, it's a solid opener. And I think also the thing that upset me, I think as a kid, was just the almost playful nature of it, to where it's like he talks to you and taunts you and stuff. Kind of like a Freddy Krueger like character, you know?
Yeah. I always put him on par with with Chucky. It's like
Oh yeah.
where
You got to
stature
remember though,
wise.
as a kid, I didn't have the biggest exposure to Chucky.
Yeah.
That was one that I missed. So, you know, this was like my first, little character that would fuck with you kind of, thing,
Yeah.
which, well, you just made me think like Atticus is obsessed with Chucky. I almost want him to sit down and watch this. I want to see what his reaction would be.
Oh my gosh, I think he would absolutely love it. And it's like, we're getting there, but I think there should be way more Leprechaun merchandise.
Oh yeah.
Get
No,
him a little
absolutely.
plush.
Like Ryan and I were all talking like a NECA, a plush. Like, yeah, dude, like let's do it. They got the pops, so the plush is probably right around the corner at some
I'm
point.
surprised this got a pop before it got a NECA, to be honest.
Um, I'm not, just because NECA, they like to get the heavy hitters. One that I was thinking about because I'm working on that Evil Dead essay was Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
How we don't have an Ash for that yet. We have an Ash for 2. We have an Ash for the series, and we have Ash from Evil Dead. We don't have one from Army of Darkness.
Yeah. But what surprises me with NECA is they're so horror centric that I figured they would have zeroed in on something like a Leprechaun before like Funko would have zeroed in on a Leprechaun pop, because they're covering, such a wide range of things. But it's like, we still need to get killer clowns from NECA, maybe some critters.
Oh yeah, dude, some actual like critters, like like a big attack pack where it's like
My
the big
God.
one and then like a bunch of tiny
Fantastic.
ones.
Absolutely
That'd be
fantastic if they
amazing.
could do that.
Let me field a couple of Rise questions here or inserts. Remember when I played Jason for? Yeah, so it was funny, Luke, when we were playing Xbox a few weeks back. What happened was we got into Friday the 13th, so we were playing that, which actually is playable now. Which is, I gotta say, it's a good bit of fun. But we hopped on there, and Rye becomes Jason first. So it's like he's taking it easy on me because I have like literally no experience in that game, like since I bought it.
Wait, are
So
they doing updates in that again? Or is
no,
it
they're not
still?
doing
Oh,
updates in
okay.
it, but it's been fixed since, because remember we played like when it first came out. Like we
Yeah.
tried to do a thing with it and it was just crashing. That was back when you literally had to like have a group of friends to
That
fill a
was like the
server.
second day or first day, actually, that it came out, I believe.
Oh yeah, we got right on that because it was Friday the 13th game. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were playing, and then the second round I got to be Jason, and I did a terrible job. I only killed Rye, so, and I think he let me kill him. So
It's a struggle, sir.
he's a good guy. But
I didn't know we
uh,
hit 710 until
yeah, I
you
know.
mentioned
I
this.
just saw that too, and then I went and double checked. We did. Awesome, very good. Thank you for the acknowledgement there, Rye. We definitely appreciate it.
We're trying hard.
Absolutely.
We had to watch
Absolutely.
the lake.
The lake, yeah, no, that one's doing well. I had a feeling that would do well. I mean, like, there's just not a lot of reviews for it, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Um,
disappointed. You know,
yeah, the monster looked great, though.
it did.
Um,
It did look good. I
on
really
that,
wanted it to be, like I said in the review, I wanted it to feel like the host. I wanted it to
yeah.
have that kind of bravado
It
to
just
it,
felt
but it
lesser
just,
than, I guess. Where it's like, yeah,
yeah,
just watch the host.
yeah. But I mean, like, the host does a really good job of like setting up that family unit and making you actually give a shit about the characters.
Yeah.
I would say that that's one of the better big monster movies when it comes to characters, because like even the most recent like Godzilla films and stuff, like the characters are just kind of there, where the host actually does its best and tries to give you something to look forward to. It's like I love it.
Maybe we should prep for like a creature feature like week or month or something
You
at some
don't have
point.
to. You don't have to twist my arm,
There
brother.
we
You
go.
know me. I'll talk about creature
We'll do it.
features
That'll
all
be like
day.
our Shark Week.
Absolutely. But Yeah, in the movie, because I know we have a couple people joining in. If you just want to hop in, we are at 10 minutes, 32 seconds. We are at 10 years later after, your boy Leprechaun just murdered some old people.
I mean,
So,
about to get the
about
fake
to
Kevin Bacon here.
fake Kevin Bacon. Dude, yes. He looks exactly like Kevin Bacon. Like, literally. Speaking of Kevin Bacon, we did just sit down with Levi of Tremors Saga. Just another plug for you, where we got to talk about, obviously Tremors. Really cool guy. Enjoyed that conversation a bunch. Episode does have some feedback issues. We are fixing that for the next time we have him on, of course. But yeah, still a great conversation. Still a lot of fun. So definitely recommend it. Oh, my dad's in the chat here. Yep, I was literally just telling this story. Pennywise, the only time as a child Dylan entered the room, looked at the TV, and left the room scared.
He was
Dude,
over it.
dead ass that. And then I don't know if Dad remembers, this movie Leprechaun also scared the piss out of me quite a bit. So,
Oh man, and I gotta say, I did not make the 65 review, but I did enjoy the short with your dad's commentary there. I thought it was perfect.
oh yeah, he actually got a lot of comments on that. People were very nice to him.
He knows what he's talking about.
Oh yes, of course he does.
He raised you well.
He
Tell you
did
that much.
He did. Literally, my dad gets all the shout outs. Even in my my Evil Dead essay, I was talking about how he basically just let me have free range of the Netflix account for a long time, where we were just renting horror movies like every week. So
That's what you got to do.
you got to.
You never found Child's Play. What's wrong with you?
See, my dad showed me the first one. We watched Child's Play.
He tried to get you into it, and then you just...
No, I loved the first one. I thought it was great. I just never followed up on the sequels because they were never available. Like, you could always find the first Child's Play on streaming for a long time. I could never find the sequels. And then...
Oh, I got you.
Then it just fell out of, relevance for me. I was just like, I like Halloween. I like Jason.
Yeah, at that time, I think Child's Play was probably going through hardships, really, to be honest.
At that point, it would have been just before everything started going to direct to DVD. So, yeah, it was rough. Let's see. Heard they're making Beetlejuice 2. Kind of happy about that news. Yeah. Didn't they just cast Jenna Ortega in that?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so,
I got to revisit the original Beetlejuice, to be honest. I haven't seen it in ages. I love Michael Keaton, but...
Oh, absolutely. Dude, they have a Michael Keaton Batman McFarlane coming out.
How horror-based is Beetlejuice? I don't remember.
Oh, I think it would be fine. We could add it in here. When the new one comes out and stuff, we could definitely justify making some videos about it or making a podcast if you wanted to throw that in your rotation, because I think that it's just in that realm, but enough people would accept it. It's kind of like it would be perfect for like Gateway to Gore, because it is one of those things where it's like it has horror vibes to it.
Yeah,
but it's not like a bloody slasher film, obviously. So
yeah, I wasn't sure I felt about it because I was like, I got Atticus that gremlin, and then I was like, they had the plush Beetlejuice, and I was like, I don't know.
Dude, he fucking loves that gremlin. Like every time he picks it up, and every time he goes with it. It's just the funniest thing, dude. I love it so much. This weekend I'm trying to find him Ghostface, and I'm also going to be grabbing Ella a couple things because, like I said, you got that Wolfman on the way. I gotta start representing.
I was so excited to find that Wolfman. I didn't know it existed until it popped up, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
They have Dracula and Frankenstein.
I saw
and a bunch
that. I was
others,
like, they're really diving into the Universal monsters. And they have, oh my gosh, what's her name from Exorcist?
Oh,
why am I forgetting her name? Whatever.
Reagan.
There we go.
Yeah, they got her. They do no Exorcist NECA. That's another one that's weird. They don't have a Reagan NECA.
Yeah, what's going on here? Especially, I mean, come on, that is like DNA of horror. Exorcist, come on.
So let's see. Checked out Children of the Corn 2023. Oh my fucking god. It was so shit that Left 4 was like, fuck this, you're worse than me. Like, yeah, dude, right? Yeah, it's rough. Did you see that in theaters or did you stream that? Is that streaming now? Is that on?
Fuck.
It
I thought it was the
is middle of the
21st.
month. Okay, yeah, it might be
I
a
thought they were
little
giving
bit.
it like a 21-day release or 20-something day release
It didn't
in the
even deserve
theater.
a 1 day release. Let's be honest here. Let's see here. Little knockoff Kevin Bacon.
Listen, if they didn't get they couldn't get Kevin Bacon back for Tremors 2, should have got this guy. Even though he's a terrible actor. Could have killed him right in the opening.
Let's see. We got a couple more that popped up in here. My dad hitting us with Michael Keaton's funniest movie is Night Shift, directed by that's Ron Howard. If you didn't know, have you seen that one, Luke?
Night Shift. I don't think I have.
The one where it's got Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton in it.
No.
And
Wait, that's not isn't Stephen King did a Night Shift, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
yes,
But it's not
I
that.
think that's the. I think that wasn't that a book or
I don't know.
did it might have gotten adapted. But yeah, so I think it's if I remember correctly, Henry Winkler gets a job at a morgue, and they end up trying to figure out how to make some extra money, and they basically start having people come into the morgue, and they hire a bunch of prostitutes, and they basically turn it into like a
Great scenario.
whorehouse. Yeah, it's great. No, it's genuinely very funny. I remember I own the DVD. It was in our dollar section at
Okay.
buybacks back in the day. I grabbed it. I think that's actually at my dad's house right now, downstairs. Should you call him Pops? Dudes, all of my friends call my dad, so it works out. Oh, I went to theaters for that one.
He's the
All
dad
right,
of the
brother.
podcast.
Yeah, I would love to. I think as time goes on, we can definitely justify that for sure. Have him on for an episode. Dylan's grandma and I watched Gremlins on Christmas Eve when it first came out on VHS. Very good. That was another thing. My grandma was big into movies. And from what Dad tells me, from what I remember, she was also into horror movies a little bit. I remember one. What's up?
I'm just gonna ask your dad this real quick because so he saw this on VHS. He didn't go to the theater to see this.
Or Gremlins?
Gremlins, yeah. I know we have to wait
so.
for a response. I didn't know if maybe
Yeah.
you knew before we wait for him to answer. I was just curious because
know.
The idea behind it was that it was originally based more kind of horror centric, and then it turned out to be they pivoted to be more of a kids movie. I was just curious if he thought going into it did he think it was more horror based than it was?
That is interesting. I would like to know. Look at that. My dad's going to get his first subscriber from El Rayo. Very
there
nice.
We go.
Always out here supporting the boys. Gotta love it. Yeah, he said no, I missed it at the theater.
I know we're pivoting into Gremlins territory here, but what did you think of this is to Mr. Newell here. What did you think of the new batch? Just curious.
I am curious about that because I don't actually know his opinions on that. I remember.
Listen, you have access to your dad 24/7.
Okay, all right.
The hard-hitting questions.
Maybe if you come to the movies with us when we invite you, you could ask him these questions.
Unbelievable.
Okay?
Well, you always want to go
we
to
invited you to 2 movies. No, Credos and Falls.
Listen, that was not my fault.
I know
a
you
new
got
daughter.
a kid, you got a baby, blah blah blah. I get it.
Unbelievable.
That's always going to be your excuse.
She's my fallback now. And be like, Ella, just start crying.
Just oh shit, can't go. No, I get it, dude. Like when I have to slip away because I was at my mother-in-law's. He said it was a step down.
Okay, because I know a lot of people love the new batch, and I don't have a problem with the new batch, but I absolutely love Gremlins, and I'm on the same page with him. Because it's like, I think, I think the comedy works, but again, it's something like with Leprechaun, where it's like, I don't think you necessarily had to pivot into the comedy, where I think you got more mileage out of kind of that same tone from that original.
I like both Gremlins movies, like to
Yeah.
death. Like they're awesome. I can't wait to show Atticus those movies. Like,
No, yeah, I think the
um,
second one's good, but it's just not, it's such a departure from the first, where it's like, I think you could have got more mileage before you went into New Batch territory.
I'll agree the story was weaker, but it's one of those things where it's like for me, I love the Gremlins themselves so much, and to see them get like altered and to have all these different versions, I think that was like what brings a lot of the fun to that movie,
Yeah.
and why like I think we could definitely do a podcast on both these
Oh,
movies
absolutely.
and
I
talk
think
about
so.
them because like I would love to sit down and just analyze them deeper and stuff because like I'm sure the story behind them is nuts too because they were both Joe Dante, weren't they?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think he came back for that one.
Yeah.
And I know he had more freedom on Gremlins too, which is why it got kind of weird. But yeah,
I mean, I don't mind that it got weird. I was just like, I think, again, listening to what could have been for the original Gremlins, it's like us being a horror podcast, obviously, we're always going to say go darker with it, but because it was a good pivot, but it's like I think maybe it was too soon.
oh yeah. Let me see. We got a couple from El Rayo here. Let me see. Luke should definitely join us on Xbox for a cool live stream.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're
do you still
playing
have?
Jason, or
We could play Friday the 13th. We could play.
Shark
I want
game.
to play. I want him to get Game Pass so that way we could play Aliens Fire Team.
Oh, I don't
Looks
know
like a lot
anything
of
about
fun.
that. You got a
It's
Predator game on there too?
PlayStation as the Predator game. It's not
Mm.
great, but we could play it.
Every Predator property is great. Just kidding. The Predator is.
The Predators. See, you went in with such confidence, and then you immediately remembered the Predator
Yep.
as the words were slipping out
I
of your
can't.
mouth.
I can't even fake it.
Rye says, and Luke, you have a great fucking beard. Look at you.
I really appreciate it. Actually, this was not an intentional choice. It was I found out my daughter really liked facial hair, and I
You
just
do.
committed to it. So it's like, but I
Yeah, you're
appreciate
gonna
it. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Ryo. So it's staying
you're
for a bit.
you're gonna learn to regret that here when she starts grabbing on it and ripping hair out.
You know what? If it makes her happy,
You'll sacrifice.
there we go.
You'll get the ingrown hairs. I get the ingrown hairs from Atticus. He doesn't grab on it as much anymore, but like there was a solid couple of months there where like he would have to fall if he fell asleep on me. It was like clenched, like he had to be holding my beard.
He's like, this is mine.
Yeah, he's always intrigued whenever Haley shaves it down because like I'll go down to like what your length is, and like
Yeah.
he always like has to touch my face when it gets shaved down. He thinks it's weird. And he tries to grab.
He's like,
Does not
what
want.
is this?
And then, hey Luke, have you seen my recent videos? Rye would like to know.
Last thing I seen was I think did he make a video on his favorite YouTubers? I think that's what it was. And
What was
then
it?
Favorite YouTubers.
That was a couple weeks back.
Was it? Okay.
I want to say because like let me see. No, that was 3 weeks ago. The last one that I saw from you, Rye, was your Kang the Conqueror edit, which I thought was cool.
One of the things that I am going to mention though about his channel is El Royo has been given a lot of love to Maniac Cop.
Yes.
I cannot be more ecstatic about it. I thought it was great. And I was like, no one mentions Maniac Cop, and it's like, and then it's just they're popping up in the stuff. And I was like, perfect. I'm on board.
Definitely. We're gonna get to those at some point because I've never
I'm
seen them.
excited.
So
Those may pop up in maybe Better Off Dead or something,
oh,
or
okay.
it could be in our with Alex and Beyond the Void. To be
Okay.
honest,
Okay.
Some
Like
lot of fun to be had there.
little Splattercast cinema with those.
Yes,
Let's see.
basket case as well.
My son is a year old. There, Ray. Or Rye. So he just turned a year last month. So yeah, he's doing great. He's a big boy. I love him so much. Apple in my eye.
I got him a Goosebump book, so
He did. Yeah, we're gonna start flipping through that here soon. I thought about that the other night. I was gonna read to him, but then he fell asleep on me. So I was like, he's already in bed. So love any type of horror movie. Well, that's the kind of people that we like in our stream. So thank you.
absolutely. All kinds.
I see he's got himself a Leprechaun video. All right, this is gonna be good. So this is Rye's Leprechaun video. Didn't like 2. Not 4, not good. Oh,
Done.
Yeah, I can understand that one.
Origins I haven't seen.
I mean, it's all right. I'm gonna tell you. So we can get back on the topic of Leprechaun here as the film's going on. Obviously we have some people. We'll catch up here a little bit now that Lep is back. But let's do like a little impromptu little ranking here. I think that could be fun. Let's see. Let's see. Let's find out.
This little boy in Leprechaun, he was also in the film starring Hulk Hogan called Mr. Nanny back in the early 90s, which is an absolutely dreadful film, but also
I thought you were going to say classic.
but it's like one of my favorite childhood films. The villain in it. Let me tell you about this, okay?
Okay.
The villain in Mr. Nanny was thrown off the top of a building and landed inside of an empty pool on the top of another building. So
Okay.
he permanently has a piece of metal encapsulating the top of his head where his hair sticks out. It is absolutely terrible, but oh so great.
Gotta love it. Love the concept of a lot of these 80s films. Or is that 90s, you said?
That was early 90s when Hulk Hogan thought he would have a film career, but it did not turn out. He also did Santa with Muscles in 1996, another dreadful film, but another one that I do watch from time to time.
Alrighty, so let's do this. Let's do a little tier list for the Leprechaun movies. Luke, do you know how these work?
Well, I don't think so, no.
All right, so S tier is like God tier, so it's like this is the best of the best.
Okay.
All right, then A tier is obviously A tier. It's solid, it's great, good. B tier, and then so on and so forth. So you get down to D is the worst. So
okay.
I think we can all unanimously agree, and then we'll see what Rye says and everything. But I think we can put Leprechaun at the top there in S tier. It's all-time classic.
Absolutely.
We're not. I don't think anybody here is gonna get there. Is gonna beat it. And then let's see. My dad popped back in here. He's got a question for you, Luke. Have you seen Hell Night, The Burning, and The Prophecy?
When we say Prophecy, we're talking the Bear movie, right? We're not talking
the Bear film, the one I just got the poster for.
Yeah. So Prophecy, I have actually seen. Dylan had me watch it, and I thought it was great. I do love that film. I assume we'll cover it at some point.
Oh yeah.
I think it even works in terms of there's a commentary, an underlying commentary there that I think is great. The Burning I did see. It was one of my earlier films in college. I started kind of diving down the rabbit hole of more so obscure stuff, kind of getting away from the Friday 13th Halloween stuff. So that's where I found like Sleepaway Camp, The Burning, all that type of stuff. The Burning, I think, is good, but I think the online commentary got me way more hyped for it than what I'd actually, got from the film. Because again, it does seem like a B-level Friday the 13th, pretty much. And then Hell Knight, I haven't seen Hell Knight before. I've seen people talk about it, but I've never
Hell
had
Knight's good.
access to that one. Is that streaming anywhere?
I think that's on Tubi.
Is it on Tubi? Okay, that's one that I've always meant to go and watch, but I have not committed to that
That's
one.
if I remember correctly, Dad, that's the one with Linda Blair, right? That you had me watch where it's like she invites all her friends to like it's like a high school reunion or something. Let me double check on that. Yep, Linda Blair. Yep. It's a good one. I would put that. I think he showed me that right around the time that we watched the Funhouse for the first time, which I know you know. We talk about that movie a lot. Ryan, I know you have loving family. You have a wonderful father who loves you, and I have to decline, sir, because of that. But you're definitely our number one fan, and I appreciate that. It was a little odd, but it's okay. We'll forget
I
it.
enjoyed it. I thought it was great. You know what? You know what? That question, I'm committing to this.
Oh
No
boy.
matter what kind of giveaway that we do during Splatterthon this year, that comment earned a Splatterthon 2023 mug.
All right, we got to send it to him. So
Absolutely. We still got to get Ted
we do.
his.
I know. I message him on Instagram all the time about it. We have a little dialogue back and forth, but he's very understanding. He moved like right around that time that we were supposed to do that,
Yeah.
and like he's just been busy. Like I've been reading his articles and stuff. He's been putting up a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely. We were gonna save that. I was gonna save that, Luke, for the year special, but that's fine. We can do that. Where Rye, we will definitely be sending you a mug when we get there. So that'll be a lot of fun. So
Hey, I mean, we could do another year thing, but Splatterthon's definitely. We're gonna have another mug for
oh
Splatterthon.
yeah,
So
Splatterthon.
that's a thing.
Yep, Dad got the extra one last year, so that was a lot of fun. And then Atticus chipped mine, which was hilarious. So, all right, let's get back to our tier list here real quick.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were already doing that.
Where we're at in the movie, if anybody who's just joining wants to know, we're at 32, 58. Dad just got his finger bitten off by the leprechaun, so
He deserved it,
lots
bastard.
of fun. It's a college pledges for Hell Night. Okay, yeah, that I remember that now. All right.
Oh, does your dad like Night of the Creeps? I assume he does, but I want to see his opinion on
Actually, yeah, I don't know if my dad has seen Night of the Creeps. Dad, have you seen Night of the Creeps?
it. Give us a little
Ryan, have
mini
you
review
seen Night of the
in the
Creeps?
chat here. I just want to hear about it.
Because I'm curious if Rye has been exposed to that yet.
Oh yeah, we need a Tom Atkins NECA. I mean, come on.
Well, they had one, but it was one that you had to buy with Night of the Creeps when they released it.
Oh,
So it was kind of like the
well, it doesn't count.
yeah. But do you remember when they did They Live and they had the Keith David NECA?
Yeah,
Oh God, I want them to re-release that so bad because that's like these, like the minor
yeah.
Harry Warden. Oh, he's a re-release because he was initially you could only get him with the Blu-ray, but then a
Yeah.
couple years later they re-released him. So I imagine we'll get one at some point.
Oh, we might. I don't know, but I have a obsession with My Bloody Valentine now that we had to watch it. I absolutely love that movie, and
Oh
I
yeah,
really want to dive down the rabbit hole of that one.
it's a solid one, brother. All right, Rye says he's not sure about that one, and my dad has not seen it. So yeah, that
Oh
would be one, Dad,
man,
you should check out. It is on the Voodoo, so you can give that a watch sometime. It is a
absolutely. I would
good
love for
time.
him to make that one of his priority films, maybe in the next week or two, and then we can kind of get a little official review from him because I think he'd like that one.
I think you'd have fun with it. It's a little weird. It's a little Slither, a little Halloween 3, which he did give another shot. Wasn't the biggest fan on, but he gave it another chance because he hadn't seen Halloween 3 since I think when he first saw it
Yeah,
this past year. But yeah, no, my dad's a good guy. He's not going to sit there and tell us we're wrong. He'll give it a shot if he hasn't seen it in a while. All right. I'm committing. We at least have to get a couple of these down. By the end of this commentary, live stream, watch along, whatever this is, I want this list to be done. But Leprechaun 2, how do we feel about it?
You know,
Go ahead.
oh wait, I go B, probably B.
You go B?
Yeah.
I would put this, because comparing it to the other sequels, I would put this at like an A.
No, I get what you're saying. For me, I'm comparing it to the original.
Okay.
So it's like I understand. I just feel like it'd be like a B.
All right.
So
Rye, where would you put this?
I think he said A there.
A tier. Okay, so he agrees with me. So well, for now, we'll have it at A tier, and we can always re-rack and remove things as we go. Because as we kind of qualify them, some ratings can change. It's kind of how this works. My dad said, "Will do." I enjoyed X and Pearl, both excellent releases from last year.
Oh my gosh, tremendous stuff. To
They
be
both
honest,
made our end of the year lists, which was a lot of fun. So,
and I gotta go back and revisit those two again because I feel like they're just gonna continue to jump.
mhm.
Just so much quality in both those films.
Yeah, I rewatched Pearl not too long ago with my wife present again. She saw it in the theater with us, and she just absolutely loves that movie. Still has
Pearl's so
not
good.
seen X, but I'm waiting till we get a little closer to Maxine because she wants to see that. So let's see. Hey Dylan, is it okay if you can share more of my videos? I can always hit the share button. I always try to hit the like button whenever I give them a watch because I know that does spread the love for the YouTube algorithm. So definitely can get out there for you, buddy. So getting back to the movie here a little bit, this is pretty brutal. I actually enjoy this kill a lot in the pawn shop guy.
Oh yeah, look
Yeah,
at him going.
with the pogo stick.
Damn.
It's just absolutely horrifying on
It's
his
like
chest.
and I think, later ones they pivot really hard into the comedy where this one has like a demented comedy feeling to it where it's like really scary again with like the child's play and stuff like that where you can kind of see it's a little outlandish, but it's so terrifying that you can just kind of forgive it completely.
And that's the best way I think to do Leprechaun is to
Yeah.
have the demented comedy because like that's where you're gonna hit your I think you're gonna hit all the right points. Like you said,
Yep.
when they went a little too comedy, that was where things start to fall off. Which I would say too, kind of pivoting back to our list here, still stays in that realm from what I
Yeah, I
remember.
think so
Granted,
too. Yeah.
I have to watch it again somewhere, but 3 is kind of where you really start to fall off with that. And so, where do you think 3 falls on this list here?
3 for me, I think for me would probably still be at the B level.
It'd be a B level.
Yeah.
I would probably have it at a C, but I can forgive and put on a B just because there is still a lot of fun kills. It
I
is one of
think
those ones. I like the were leprechaun concept of him getting bit or like
yeah.
changing a little bit. I know some people think that's stupid, but I actually thought that was quite interesting.
And that's where it's like I think the first one is a top tier horror film.
Mm.
Whereas like everything after that there's a drop in quality where
Oh,
it's like
absolutely.
I
It just
think
gets
2
worse and worse.
but I think 1 through 3 are adequate viewing. Like where you can watch those and it can be okay. But it's like I think we go from the first film being an A, then or what is it? What are we doing? A god tier? Is that what he said? Is a
So
G?
S tier is
D-
like
S? Okay,
untouchable
it's S.
top, yeah, and then it's like A is like it's still very much like I like this movie. I will watch this movie like consistently. I would recommend this movie to people. B tier is where it's like kind of more. I enjoy this, but it's not one that I'm going to sit here and say like everybody has to love.
Yeah. And
C
that
tier is
and
where it's like this is where things start to kind of,
really fall off
and
and go
it's
off the
more
rail.
like you either kind of enjoy it, you can think it's passable, or It's just, but you wouldn't sit there and say anybody else has to like it. D tier is like, this is garbage. I don't recommend this to anybody.
Yeah, and that's where so it's like, like 2 and 3 I think are adequate viewing for my taste because I love Leprechaun so much. But I can't recommend 2 or 3 to anyone. So it's like that's where I think they fall into that B level.
Mm-hmm. So I think you're right. Why don't we put Leprechaun 3 at the B tier for now? I think that's still fun because like you still have a great trilogy there. I would say these first 3 are still a lot of fun. Yes, clearly Leprechaun 3 drops off in a big way, I would say, compared to the first 2. All of them drop off in a big way compared to this
Wait,
one.
are you putting
Oh, my bad,
green?
my bad, my bad, my bad. B tier.
Oh,
S always messes me up. Hang on, I just unplugged my microphone. Oop, there we go. All right. Rye, can you the video of my favorite horror characters with a cool thumbnail? Sure, I can definitely do that for you, bud. Horror trends to overdo it, or horror tends to overdo it with the comedy with sequels. I think that's how Freddy lost his scariness. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think when you have, it's kind of why like silent slashers, I think kind of have a benefit there, where it's like, for the most part, they don't have the luxury of having to really communicate with the audience or even like communicate with our characters. They just do the killing, and it's kind of up to the filmmakers and the people behind the costumes and the body acting and everything to deliver that. As to where like someone like Leprechaun and somebody like Freddy, where they are so witty and they do talk and they do all this stuff, it's like, yeah, I could see how you could easily fall back into it. Which I would say, like, so far with my dive down the Child's Play series, Chucky has remained rather consistent. I think that his personality, what Brad Dourif gives to that, has just stayed very very consistent through most of the sequels and very much through the show.
yeah. And I think Chucky maybe loses it slightly a little bit later on, maybe because they kind of play into the comedy a little bit. I'm curious, like looking at Freddy, where we have Jason, we have Michael, and like you said, they're silent slashers. Whereas you look at Freddy, and I think to an extent, Freddy, even what is it, Dream Warriors, where his his claws turn into the hypodermic needles, and
Mm-hmm.
he goes, "What a rush," and that I think we still feel the demented comedy in it, but
I
then
like that kill in Dream
yeah,
Warriors. I think that's very good because she's a former addict and
yeah,
everything. Like, that's the kind of Freddy I enjoy.
yeah, and I think like when you kind of intermingle that kind of comedy where it is that demented stuff, or like when Leprechaun's on the pogo stick, I think that stuff works. But then maybe when we kind of dive into what is it, Freddy's Dead, where he's playing the video game, that for me doesn't really play well, and
Great
we're
quote
kind
for
of
a podcast. Terrible concept for a movie.
yeah, and that's where it's like, that's where I think you kind of pivot a little too hard into the comedy, where a lot of these are. And I'm curious to see if, I think Freddie was one of those big guys to maybe the first. I don't know if there's ever been, a deep dive on this where it's like he's the one that kind of intermingled a lot of comedy into his stuff, where it's like, looking at something like a Chucky or a Leprechaun to almost use that as the blueprint, and then you don't really know how to mix that type of stuff, so then you kind of just lean too hard into the comedy after you get that kind of very vocal killer that Freddy Krueger was, because yeah, he does lose something, I think, in those later halves until you get to like New Nightmare, and I think New Nightmare works because it becomes meta and it becomes a little darker.
Oh, absolutely. New Nightmare, I think, is one of those ones that, like, in general, I think more people are starting to discover it now
Yeah.
and just see it for the high quality film that it is. Sorry, I'm just blasting the stream out a little more. See if we can get some
Oh,
more
no, you're good.
people to join us. But why don't we hit this up? So, Leprechaun 4. Leprechaun in Space. We have talked about this. This was on Better Off Dead. Obviously, we understand this is not a great movie.
No.
It is not at all. But is this a fun movie?
No.
No, you don't like this one at all. I think
No.
this movie is kind of fun. Rye says dog shit. So okay, maybe I'm on my own. Where are we putting this, boys? Where
That's
does
the
this one sit?
lowest tier we can get.
Lowest tier? Is this
Yeah.
D tier? Rye, is this D tier?
He said dog shit starts with a D.
All right, fair enough. All right, we'll put it there. Personally, I think that I have enough fun with it, with him getting big and then coming out of the dude's dick and stuff. Like, I think it's just stupid enough that I would probably put this at C tier. But I will. We conceded for 2, so I'll do it. Now we have Leprechaun in the Hood.
That one I feel like is just dumb enough that teeters where it could be a C.
I would honestly put this at B tier. I have enough fun with this movie. I think that it's more self-aware. So it's one of those things where it's like, for me,
I could live with a B tier. I wouldn't. My personal preference would not be B, but I think we're working preference wise from almost a step down. Where it's like I would have put you're putting 2 at an A, and I would have put 2 at a B. So it's like everything's gonna be a step down. I feel, but I can live with it being a B.
Okay, so we'll agree at a B for now. Rye says Gremlin in the Hood. I don't know. I think the In the Hood has left the building many years ago. Rye, do you have any input on this list here as far as Leprechaun in the Hood? Can you live with it at a B tier? I know you think that the whole series after 1 is dog shit, but other than, I guess, Leprechaun Returns, where we might have a little bit of a differing approach to. Speaking of which, Leprechaun, we are currently at the point where he's shining shoes. I always love this gag where they're just like, we got to get away from him, so let's throw all the fucking shoes at him to clean.
And I feel like this is, I think they established some Leprechaun lore here in the first one where we don't really jump on it or take advantage of it in the sequels at all. Where I do love that. Almost it's his weakness. It's like playing into that lore of, oh yeah, just remember this, remember that, and you can get one up on them. And they don't really do that in any of the other ones.
What's up, Kira? Welcome to the stream. My sister has joined as well. It's a big old family stream up in here. I like it.
I love it.
Rye says it looks good, so he's happy with that. Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Now this one I don't like as much. So that's that I kind of want to get your opinions on, guys. Like, where do you guys want to put this one? Because I could see this one at a C. I don't think it's nearly as bad to put it at a D, but I wouldn't put it any higher than a C, personally.
Honestly, I'm forgetting which one this is.
This is the one. So, like, you know how In the Hood had like Master P and stuff in it, where it had Ice-T and everybody, and they were all that. So that's that one. This is the one where it's like they find the gold, and he comes back. This is the one where he ends up killing those cops. Like, it's that kind of famous scene where he's fighting the cop and stuff. Yeah. And then it's like they have the guy on the motorcycle, and like she finds the gold, but then she finds it. Okay, so Rye says C tier. How do you feel about it, Luke? Because you're gonna break the tie here.
It's a bad movie. I don't think it's as bad as 4.
So you think C?
Yeah, I'm gonna go C.
Okay. All right, which brings us to Leprechaun Origins. This is dog shit, in my opinion. I would put this one. You haven't seen Origins?
No.
I'm gonna say D tier. Rye, do you have any objection to that? Let me see here. And I know we haven't talked much about this part of the movie, but Ozzy and Alex, honestly, they make so much of this movie for me.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
enjoyment of it. I love their relationship. They're just adorable.
Yeah. No, and you've seen Returns, haven't you? Some of
I
it.
have seen Returns, yes. I know what part you're referencing.
Yeah, and that kind of pissed me off a little bit.
It did. It pissed me off too because they brought him back just to do that. It's kind of like
I'm like, really?
the
And I
fuck,
think
bro.
they knew what they were doing. It was like a kick in the dick, so to speak, for the fans. But it
And
was
then
just
they
like,
Billy Loomised him.
yep. And it's just like, I don't think this is a good decision. But I think they are honestly my favorite part in terms of the protagonist characters of the group. I think they're my favorite.
Yeah, no hate, Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Bacon look alike, but yeah, they are definitely the most
Light.
entertaining.
Kevin I love
Bacon
Jennifer
Light.
Aniston. I'm a Friends fan, so
I do like Jennifer Aniston a lot. I actually just watched again for the first time in a while. We're the Millers.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah,
I love that movie.
that's a fun film. You ever see Derailed?
Derailed?
Yeah, it's got
I don't
Jennifer Aniston in it.
think
Really
so.
intriguing movie. Not like great film or anything, but it's got a twist and a turn in there.
From 2019?
No, let me look this up. 2005.
Oh, okay. Does it have? Is that RZA from?
Yes. Oh yeah. Hell
No, I
yeah.
have not seen this, but I have sold this movie before at the exchange. Aw, see? Like, this is the shit I love where he's like, looks like you're hurt. Let's play surgeon. Like, that shit's hysterical. And he's got the fucking little kids, like, what is that called? Where they
The
check your heart rate?
stethoscope? Is that what it was?
Stethoscope, yeah.
Got him with the bear trap. Is that what happened?
Yes, and then he beat the shit out of him. Now he's going to
Oh, he's
bite him,
biting
and
him.
nobody does anything.
I absolutely love it. They're like, oh shit.
Alex is the only one who's thinking he picks up a big old rock.
He just does not give a fuck either. He's just sitting right there trying to eat this dude's leg. He's so aggressive in this too, and I think they lose that.
He loses his viciousness as the franchise goes on. Best part. Love this fucking part. I fucking love it when Ozzy's calling everybody. He's like, Army, Navy, Marine, send them all.
Like, oh, damn.
So good. All right. I don't know where Rye is. I don't think he's responding much, but unless anybody else would like to chime in, Origins is going into the D tier because that movie sucks.
It slid right into the D tier.
So do you know anything about that movie, Luke?
I know it's WWE produced.
Yep.
Beyond that, nothing.
So, Warwick Davis has not returned.
I do. Oh, well, I do know that, yes.
Because they had Rye is dipping out. He's going to bed. See you, Rye. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping by.
We had some fun.
But
happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yes, happy St. Patrick's Day, of course. But yeah, no. Origins he's played by Hornswoggle.
Okay. I didn't know if they actually showed the leprechaun or it's just kind of more of a creature or not. Because
it is a completely different creature. Like it looks nothing like Warwick Davis's leprechaun. Yeah, it's a mess. Like, honestly. Hey, pretty ladies, what's going on? What's happening, Zoe? There's someone from Luke's side of the camp there.
There we are. We're manly men here, so I don't know what's happening. What she means by pretty ladies.
El Rio says we should put Leprechaun Returns in A tier for him. Now, I don't know. I have not seen this movie all the way through, so I gotta know. Luke, can we put it in A tier? But go with your heart. Go where you believe this goes.
Damn. My initial.
I have a pick for it. because I've only seen part of it, but I want
My
you
initial thought was going to be B, to be honest.
B.
Yeah. But, I'm comparing it to the first. I wouldn't be upset with it being in an A tier just because it's a decent enough kind of requel, I guess you would say. I just have, my bigger problem's the opening. I know they
Okay.
want to do something big, but, for me, I'm like, it's kind of, again, a kick in the nuts.
Yeah. No, I get that. It's like when they kill Dewey.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
fucks everything up.
Don't even bring that to this chat. You get that out of here.
All right. So I personally was going to put this at a B, just from what I did see.
Yeah.
So I think we can put this at a B just to be safe. So sorry, Rye. Can't quite get you there to an A. We appreciate you, but it's got to go to a B. So that's our tier list now. Do we feel solid in these, or do you think that anything misplaced? Does anybody else want to chime in and let us know if we're smoking crack or not? Has Zoe seen all of these? That's my
I
question.
don't know which one she's seen. I know she likes the first one because we had talked about before I hopped on here. I know she's watched some of them, but I don't know if she's ever watched them to the full extent to give them a rating. Because I think regardless of the quality of these films, I think Leprechaun translates to a wide range of people, whether they're, if they're horror fans, I think, you can turn these on and have some fun, at least a little bit.
Put a pin in that because I have some things to say there, but I want to say the part we're at in the movie at 57:06, this is the part that I think scared me the most as a kid. This is it. This is what traumatized me. And I somehow remember it looking a lot worse when I was a kid. All right, so Zoe says, I've not watched them all, but Leprechaun 2 is my absolute favorite. I can respect that. I think that Luke and I can both say that Leprechaun 2 is a good bit of fun. I think it's a worthy follow-up. I don't give it the Jaws 2 award of being not just as good, but like really up there like the Psycho 2. But I think that if I'm watching Leprechaun, more than likely I'm going to put Leprechaun 2 on.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's a fun follow-up. Again, I do
That's
think
why it sits at A tier. So it's like, because it's good.
Yeah, I think for my personal viewing, maybe it's my love for the original where I do feel that drop in quality. But again, it's one of those ones where I have obviously 4, I have trouble watching 4, whereas 2, it's easy viewing in terms of watching 1 and then going right into 2. But I also feel that way about 3, where it's like those 3 I feel like are fun enough that I can watch all 3 and be happy with it, and kind of that that fills my appetite for Leprechaun for a while.
Miguel Nunez doesn't completely save 4 for you at all?
The only redeeming quality is that they do not kill him in that film. He lost to dinosaurs. He's lost to, I guess, was it Roy? Wasn't even actually Jason Voorhees. But he survived Leprechaun. I consider it a win.
That is fair. That is fair. But what you were saying, what were you saying actually? Because I got totally.
I think maybe it was that I feel like Leprechaun at least translates.
Yeah, people are into it. You know why I think that is, man? I think that is because these movies religiously play every single March because of St. Patrick's Day on Sci-Fi, on AMC, on all these different channels. You'd have some of the Leprechaun movies. And like I think that they just had such a wide exposure because of that. And like a lot of kids, like, people our age and stuff, they grew up watching these movies. So it's like, because I remember every year, even though I was terrified of Leprechaun, I'd always flip by. I'd always watch a couple minutes. And then I started to get the balls and grow up a little bit of actually watching these and enjoying them. And then as I've gotten older, I own them on Blu-ray and now I have the digital copies. It's something where it's like Leprechaun's just a staple in my life. Like it's something that I definitely am excited to introduced to Atticus at some point, but I
Yeah.
also wonder if my fear is going to be generational terror and he's going to absolutely hate it. But he does love Chucky, so I
Yeah.
think that we're already on a good path there.
You've already kind of brought him over to that side, I think.
Mhm.
And I think the charm of even younger kids seeing this, even starting out with maybe not even one, but maybe even going into those threes, fours, or in the hood and things like that, where we're heavier into the comedy. Those may kind of let kids their act as their gateway to kind of come in and build up to seeing something like the original Leprechaun, where it is a little more horror based, and then kind of grow that love from there.
No, I agree. I would say that it's definitely a good gateway into things. We have some little bit of breaking news in the horror. I guess is this horror? I don't really know. It's kind of thriller suspense, but they you watched so Kira, you watched Leprechaun with Atticus? Let's see. Well, yeah, you would have been babysitting him at that time, so that makes sense. Um,
Did she introduce him to Art the Clown yet? It's a big question.
yeah, she's got to be the one to do that. She's the Art the Clown, like mega fan. I got to give her props for that because she was the one that she liked it before any of us did. I mean,
That's
we
right.
didn't like the first film, so
I still don't.
I know I own it on Blu-ray though. I mean, just because of my completionist nature. Let's see here. She says you're welcome. No, 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 no.
This is pretty deep. To fix his brain, I
To
was like,
fix his brain.
man,
Yeah,
that was way too much for me to handle as a kid.
was it?
I was
You're
like,
just like, oh,
man, just start feeling bad.
you're like this sucks. Um, sorry, you said Art the Clown. You reminded me I had to switch my. I never switched my artwork over to
Your
the
artwork.
alternative artwork.
Oh,
Shit.
damn, you just broke his Blu-ray
I know I'm an
on the
animal.
stream.
You know me. I gotta abuse my own stuff.
That's how you like it.
I gotta go tell my wife I gotta go replace this, and she's gonna be like, "No, we don't have money to replace it." And I'm gonna say, "Well, you're right," but no, actually, we're doing a lot better these days. We're getting there, making the life adjustments. It helps. I know you're still deep in the formula realm, but once you get out of the formula zone, dude, like life gets a lot easier.
Oh,
I'm
that's it.
telling you.
Easy peasy.
Oh yeah.
Smooth sailing.
Once
I
they
don't know.
start eating food, and you don't have to spend $70 every week or so on formula.
I like it.
Oh, but I didn't. I didn't get to dispatch the news. But Daisy Edgar Jones. I don't know who that is, but she looks familiar. Got cast in the new Twister reboot.
Oh, I think I read that in passing.
Are you a Twister fan?
I do like Twister, yes.
I love Twister. My dad, that was
Um,
another one. I don't know if my dad's still in the stream, but that was one I used to watch religiously with them.
uh, ABC Family used to have like their made-for-TV films. There was a movie called Night of the Twisters, and they legitimately had like several Twisters in one night. Absolutely terrifying stuff. I think Twister really at that time there were so many made-for-TV movies based off of like those kinds of disasters like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that late '90s were just like a billion Twister movies, and to be honest, I love them all.
Yeah, I'm checking them out right now as you're saying that. I'm looking for them.
Let's just do like a Twister week. That's it.
Twister week, where we just go through all of them. We have to go through what's that one? The Storm. Oh yeah, Dad's still in here. Twister, love it. Has 2 Van Halen songs in it. Yep, I remember that. Humans Being. I think they write that song for the movie, or it was the headline song for the movie. Great. But yeah, so I guess they're doing a reboot, not necessarily, and I know it's not a remake, but it's like a continuation. So we'll have to see.
Okay. Bill Paxton's daughter.
Is that who it is? Oh no, you're just making the joke. I was like, oh wow, really?
That's exactly.
I was gonna say now I have way more respect for the material. Let's see, Daisy Edgar Jones. What did you star in? Because I think I've seen you before. She plays Noah in the movie Fresh.
Oh, yes.
I did not see that, but you have said nothing but good things about that.
Yeah, you have to watch Fresh. I think that's a lot of fun.
I'll get there.
You'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm. I still have to watch Watcher. So, but yeah, my dad said yes to that, and yeah, that's one thing that I also inherited from him is my love of Van Halen. Jesus, really cooked himself there. We're cooking now, kids.
His look with the messed up teeth and everything's just so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Jennifer Aniston could not look more early 90s. She's got like the spandex shorts, I think, or something, and like a leather jacket. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I love this going shelf to shelf. Oh, man.
Oh, I like that. So I have something to show you, Luke. Tell me, can you see this okay?
Let me take a gander here. Yes. Wait.
I'm actually going to zoom it up a little bit. So this is a concept somebody made, but yeah, like I know we probably wouldn't get all of this, but yeah, there's a lot of good ideas here. I'm thinking the Irish whiskey, the tricycle, the pot of gold, a 4-leaf clover for sure.
A lightsaber from 4?
See, I don't know if they'd go that far. They
No,
even
I
have
don't
a
think so.
rolled weed joint for that. But like, if they wanted to charge $35 for this, like, yeah, I mean, it's happening. So
Absolutely. I would buy this in a heartbeat.
it's like a big set like this.
I love the melting face head there. That would be
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say there. That's a good one. Lucky Clover cereal would be funny, even though it's like I know they probably wouldn't go that far with it, but you never know. Diddly diddly dee, leprechauns me. And like a lot of people have like their own little renditions of it, like box art and stuff. Even that's just a nice little statue.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then look at that, like you could have it with like a set where you get like here. Let me share this one real quick. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Like that.
Oh man, that would be great. Does that exist right there? That thing that they're showing us right there? That with the
No, that it did none of that doesn't exist. That's just like a cutout they made.
Oh, okay.
For that, I'm pretty sure. Like you can see some people have some customs that they've done and everything, but yeah, nothing too solid. Yeah. I would love a leprechaun NECA.
That would be phenomenal.
You know they got to get on it at some point down the road.
Way past due.
Oh, did you guys? My dad's asking if we heard about the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie, Sunday Scaries.
Yes.
We can talk about it now, but a little bit. But yeah, we'll be talking about that for sure. We have
Very
a lot to
intriguing.
say.
I mean,
Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Andrew Garfield.
man, that is a stacked cast. I mean, when you hear Guillermo's doing, that type of film, you're already intrigued. But then just to release that cast list already, I
I
am.
really hope that they do like a more faithful adaptation to it because I actually got really familiarized with the book
Yeah.
A couple months back, and like I've seen certain adaptations and stuff, and it is just a really interesting story. Like it's nothing like the old Universal Monsters movie. So I'm very very curious to see what version they do. Like he basically makes the monster in his dorm room at college when he was away and everything, and like the monster isn't like this it doesn't look very human. It looks like rotted flesh and everything. It's almost
Yeah.
like this living skeleton. It's some very cool stuff.
I'm intrigued to see what Guillermo will do with it.
Oh yeah.
He always puts his own unique spin on everything. I mean, like a Shape of Water. Um, I mean, Dylan sent me that news a couple days ago, and I was elated to see just the information that they've given us.
hmm
Because I don't think they're just in the infancy stage of this right now, so we don't even have when this could
Yeah.
even potentially
I
be coming out. But
I think it's probably going to be next year if anything. But I think it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to go through because it's at Netflix, and
yeah,
Guillermo and Netflix have been really working well together. I mean, he just won them an Oscar for best
yeah.
animated feature with Pinocchio, so they are kind of like, yeah, we'll give you anything. And then Cabinet of Curiosities did really well as
Which
far
we
as
still have
streaming
to
goes.
uncover that a little bit.
Oh, I still want to get into that.
Yeah.
Uh, Panos has a short in that I really want to talk about, especially because we have that thing coming up that we can't talk about right now.
What
So
thing?
the thing. But
The John
yeah,
Carpenter?
yeah,
Oh,
right. But no, I'm in love with that. I mean, just like the people he's surrounding himself with too. It's kind of like, yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna
visually,
be
you already
pretty
know it's going to
solid.
be stunning.
Oh yeah,
Conceptually, it's going to be stunning. And then you add the cast that he has. It's a home run already. I mean, and there's
so
not many things that you can say that about when just information's being released.
and I'm going to ask you this again on Sunday Scaries, but just for that video. But do you think that who do you think's playing Frankenstein? Do you think Oscar Isaac or do you think Andrew Garfield?
Oh,
And I'm talking about the
you know,
monster, Frankenstein's monster.
yeah. I'm not familiar 100% with the original source material that you're speaking of. So, um, I don't know. I think either one of them could be interesting, but like, I don't know what kind of range that role has to it. I would be very intrigued to see Oscar Isaac do it though. Just because of what he brings to every role that he does. But Andrew Garfield wouldn't be a bad choice either. It's
If you
tough.
if you want to know my thoughts, I'm going to say it's probably going to be Andrew Garfield playing the monster.
Yeah,
I think that makes the most sense. But again, we don't know any more than that, so it's going to depend on exactly how he's bringing this to life and everything. So,
yeah. And I
but
don't know exactly what characters are intertwined in the storytelling. So it's like, could
but
they both be actual characters, and then we're gonna get a Frankenstein's monster down? You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna? They haven't even been casted or at least released in terms of. I don't know.
yeah, it's true. But I mean, Guillermo doing this is like still. It's just I'm so excited. It's going to be one of those ones where I hope maybe they'll have a few more releases in between when this comes out and that. But like, I thought that Glass Onion was in theaters way too short. Like, I wanted to see that. I tried to go see it with my dad, but it was just bad timing because it was right around Thanksgiving. So you're busy with holiday stuff. You're doing stuff constantly, and there's like only a couple theaters in our area that were playing it anyway. So it's like I didn't get a chance to see it. I saw it on Netflix. Loved it. Thought it was great. This is one that I will not miss if it's in theaters. I will literally go out of my way to go and see Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro in theaters. Like, I mean, that's a given. I don't understand like why it's taken so long and why no other studio has not, given him this. Because from what I understand, this is something he's been wanting to do for a while. But
Just
it is
give him
what
all
it
the
is.
Universal monsters. Come on. Call it a
At
day.
least let him assemble a crew. Let him assemble
Yeah.
people who could bring it to life, especially if we're not going to follow up with Lee Winnell's Invisible Man,
Yeah.
because we both love that,
Oh,
and
it's
I
great.
think that's a shame if they don't continue going into that universe with like the realistic take to it. Either way, we got a solid movie out of it, so that's one of those things that I think COVID kind of tossed in the air. Nobody's really gotten back to it yet.
That was the last movie I saw in the theater prior to COVID. And then,
Mine was Underwater.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you ever end up watching that?
Oh, yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. Do you like that one?
Not really.
Not really. I think you should revisit that. It's
Okay.
pretty. I like that one. I think, but also, me and my thalassophobia and everything, like it gets to me a little bit more.
Yeah. I think it started losing me toward the end of it, to be honest.
Really. So when the Cthulhu stuff comes out, you're kind of over it, or
I didn't think it was that well done.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I love
Fair.
H.P. Lovecraft, but I just don't think, maybe I was expecting more. I'll go revisit it, temper my expectations a little bit, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, we might cover it on the show at some point down the road. So, I'm not saying rush out to it, but we might get to it
I'm
because.
going to watch it tomorrow.
All right. Um, do you guys think the pandemic has helped with horror movies? People stop going to the movies, and horror movies are less expensive to make, so studios could make more movies for less. I think majorly so. Yeah, I think that like horror is coming back in a big way, but not even just in like the sense of like what studios are putting out, but like um, think of things like Terrifier that were made for less than $1 million and stuff like that, and it's coming out here making 16 million on like a theatrical run that was super limited and just expanded and expanded. And all these other horror movies, say what you will about things like The Mean One or Winnie the Pooh, it's like we wouldn't see that shit like in theaters before, so it's opening the door to a lot of stuff actually getting put in theaters. So I think it's only a matter of time before some real quality stuff starts hitting and we get more of it.
Yeah. And like, I think we talk about it on the channel all the time, where I think out of every genre that there is, I think horror is the most diverse. And I think looking at um, the pandemic and what it's done to kind of maybe people not necessarily wanting to show up to the theater, and maybe it's lessened a little bit nowadays, but looking at that and just wanting people kind of giving that initiative and that motive to kind of come out and see a film, I think it's kind of given studios that kind of push to take a chance and take films that maybe we wouldn't see in the theater regularly, but they're like, we have to find almost not necessarily a gimmick, but we have to give people a reason to come out and see this. So looking at Skinamarink, where that film probably wouldn't have had the life that it did in the theater, other than like something like the Night Lights, in these very small spaces. They're like, we have to bring this type of thing to the theater for people to experience. So I think that just by default, horror being so diverse in a sense, it gives us the opportunity to see these films because they are being made. And now that the theaters are more eager to bring more unique films to the theater and to kind of give us that theatrical experience, I think by default, I think horror has thrived in that space just because, action wise, action movies, you kind of they're pretty basic. You don't really get the diversity that you get, or dramas or anything like that. Where horror, there's so many unique subgenres and facets of horror, and things that you can kind of lean on that you don't lean on in other, you have the slashers, you have something like Skinamarink, you have the Outwaters, you have a lot of the stuff that you don't necessarily see. So I think the pandemic inadvertently has helped horror just because of how diverse the space is.
I agree. And, I think that overall, um, it's just made moviegoers a little bit more picky, which on one hand could be seen as bad because like you can't get like certain movies that I think should get more attention. Like I think like there's going to be stuff out there like your awards contenders that aren't going to be as like highly viewed as like they used to be probably. Because I remember like a couple Oscar seasons ago, like a lot of stuff like Moonlight and everything. A lot of people were going out and seeing those because it was just part of the the usual stuff. But now it's made people again picky to the point where it's like, well, I want to go support this. I want to go vote with my wallet. I think that terminology has become more prominent and just more in the casual moviegoers like mindset is like, well, do I want to go pay money to see this in a theater? Is this worth it to me, or am I just going to wait a month and it's going to pop up on Paramount Plus or Peacock or Disney? It's like, and you see that a lot with the Marvel stuff because it's no secret. Like Marvel's kind of gone down in quality. Like I'm a big enough fan to admit that. It's one of those things where it's like I think that some of their stuff is getting oversaturated and people are just kind of hungry for something different, which is why like something like Top Gun 2, which again, not completely different, it's a sequel, but it's at a quality level and it harkens back to that old time kind of like 80s feel of going to the movies that people really wanted that. And that's why I think that movie had such staying power. I think it's still a great movie. Like, Luke, have you seen Top Gun 2 yet?
No, I haven't seen Top Gun, the original, in forever.
I'd say
So,
give them a double feature because like their Top Gun 2 is great. Like my dad and I both saw that and like it's awesome, dude. Like I love that movie. I have it on my Vudu.
I mean, yeah, I've heard so many good things about it. It's just, I don't know if it's for me at this moment in time.
Okay. I respect it. Let's get an action movie podcast together and then I'll make you watch it.
Perfect. But, we're covering all that gorgeous 80s or action first. So,
Oh, absolutely. If we started, the first thing I'd want to do is First Blood.
I'm all about it. Bullets and biceps. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Because then, yeah, you get yourself a whole, like, God, there's so much we could talk about with just First Blood alone. Just like how, like, deep that is with it being an adaptation. And also just like how, they went and changed the script and the ending got changed and everything. Like, there's so much about that movie. Like, that
First
I love.
Blood's a tremendous film. Just in
It
general.
is. Seriously. And, like, it's a good drama. It's a good action flick.
Absolutely.
It's so beautiful. Love that. And then I love part 2. I think part 2 is a lot of fun. It's a goofy movie, but man, it's fun. And then I actually think that 4, I treat 4 like I treat I think the Evil Dead remake.
Yeah.
In a sense where it's an all-out gore fest, but man, it's solid. I think it is just pure, unadulterated. Like, let's let the chains off Rambo. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah. We're gonna talk cliffhanger more so in that podcast.
I've never seen it.
Oh wait, you haven't? I thought you watched Cliffhanger like a
No,
couple years
remember
ago.
I watched Demolition Man.
I thought you watched Cliffhanger as well.
No,
No?
you had recommended it, but I never got around to it.
Wow. It's
But
getting a 4K
Demolition Man,
release, sir.
I know. I saw it. I saw the Steelbook too get announced. But man, Demolition Man too. Like, that's one of those recommendations you gave me. Like, that I know my dad had told me to watch a long time ago too. But like, finally watching that for the first time and just seeing what the hype was all about, it's like, this is so fucking good. Like, it's funny, the action's good. It's Stallone. It's great, man.
Oh man, so your dad recommended it to you, huh?
It was one of the ones that he would always say we got to watch at some point. We just never got around to it.
I assume your dad is a giant Simon Phoenix fan because who is not?
I know my dad's a massive Stallone fan, so it's one of those things that's like pretty much anything he's in. Did you there was something else too that I was about to say. We were talking about it years ago. Oh, one that I'd like to cover, just a side note, is the original Total Recall. Would
Hell
be great.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
I love that movie.
I could talk about Total Recall forever. I watched that movie on repeat. We got that at the Walmart $5 bin back in the day. Love
Movie's
that movie.
so good. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yep.
rewatch that one every few months.
Yeah, that was one of those things where we went to the theater to go see the remake with Colin Farrell. So piss poor. Like, oh my God.
Damn.
What
I
a
remember
mess.
that came out, I think, the same time RoboCop, the remake, came out. I
And
was doubly
Fright
pissed.
Night came out the same summer as that, because Colin Farrell was in like a bunch of movies close together. But the
Oh, those
Fright Night remake is actually not terrible.
It's not terrible, but the CGI fucking
The
sucks.
CGI is bad, but they do a good job of updating the material without shitting on the original.
Yeah, how do you feel about what's his name? Christopher Mintz-Plasse is basically the Evil Ed character in a sense.
I oh, you're talking about Superbad guy, the
Yeah.
kid from Superbad.
Yeah, McLovin.
Don't necessarily remember a lot about him. Don't think I really cared for it, but like I remember just really loving Colin Farrell as fuck, I'm forgetting his name. Main Vampire.
Yeah, Dandridge, Jerry Dandridge.
Yeah, Jerry. I like that. His performance is creepy, and of course Anton Yelchin. Just so sad, dude. Every time.
Man,
He just had his birthday a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago or so, where people
depressing
were
stuff.
coming back to
Absolutely
yeah.
depressing. I remember finding that out. I was working at Buybacks
Yeah,
that
I
day.
think either you told me or I told you as we were walking into work that day.
I think I told you because I think
Yeah,
I think I was already there, and then you showed up, and I was like, "Oh, did you hear?"
because didn't I have you watch Green Room, or that was one of the movies we bonded on early?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because no, I think I had you watch Midnight Special. I
Yes,
remember I
you did.
gave you
Yeah.
my digital code for that.
Yep.
But we like Green Room was something we talked about and everything. So does that qualify as a horror movie?
I say it does.
Okay, we can talk Green Room at some point down the road.
That's remember we have to do I pitched it to you a while ago. Is it horror? For a
Yeah,
segment? And The
that
Hand
way
That
we can
Rocks the
crack it
Cradle,
open.
Green Room. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would like that a lot. I know we haven't talked about any of Leprechaun, but they just killed him. So there you go. And we're
There we
basically
go.
at the end of the movie.
Listen, we talked at the very beginning about Leprechaun.
We did. We talked for a bit. We did a tier list. You know, we did the whole thing.
This is like more so a town hall. I
It
think.
is. You know, we're just on
Base
here
with the
having fun,
community.
touching base,
Exactly.
talking to some people. Till I have me gold.
This is about people talking with people.
People talking to people.
With a leprechaun in the background.
It's over. It's done. I mean, what more can we say? We talked about a little bit at the start. This is a classic film.
Warwick Davis, one of the best horror portrayals, I think, of any character in the genre. It never gets old. I would love to see him reprise this role at least one more time if we could ever get it, because it's absolutely worthy of getting its due at least for one final time.
Yeah, he did Willow, so I don't see why he couldn't do this.
He said he doesn't want to. He said he wouldn't want to do another Leprechaun until his kids are old enough to be able to see it.
How old are his kids?
I think they're very young.
Oh,
It's the problem here.
How old is Warwick Davis? Is he not that old?
Know. I don't know, to be honest. I just remember diving down that rabbit hole a couple of years ago, him saying he didn't want to do it.
Okay, he's only 53. So he's, you know, honestly, like if Jamie Lee and all these other people are coming out here doing this, like we could get it. Like,
yeah, it's obviously not gonna, you know, he doesn't have to do too much.
They could always get a stunt guy to do anything too crazy, because Jamie Lee is 64. So,
or is kids even young anymore? I don't know. Because that came out a little bit ago when, you know, he didn't reprise it for Leprechaun Returns.
I'm looking here. Oh, tragic. They lost one of their sons a long
I
time
saw
ago.
that.
His kids don't look that young.
That's what I was about to say.
Huh. Maybe he just needs the opportunity. Good script.
There we
Either
go.
way, absolutely, I'm on board with you. I want to see Warwick come back to the role one more time. You know, reprise it, really give us something in theaters to just knock our socks off. You know, even if it's just mid tier, to have him back in the role would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing I say with the most recent Halloween films, where it's like, even though the quality of those films it wavers, I would say that Michael was great. He looked great. Everything was cool. It's like,
Let's get David Gordon Green behind this. You know, I'm sure after he
no,
tackles
bro.
Exorcist, he's gonna jump on Leprechaun.
Who do you want to see make a Leprechaun movie?
That's a good question. You know, after I talk with Levi, you know, James Gunn would be fun.
You're just going to the basics. No, I respect it. He would probably do a really good job, just because I think he gets that sense of humor, the
Yeah.
dark sense of humor. But like, I don't know. I'm trying to think like what a realistic, because he's making fucking Superman now. They announced that
Oh,
this week.
absolutely. Yeah, it's
Not
not.
only is he behind DC, but he's making that movie. So I don't know. I'm trying to think who.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone that really jumps out here.
Hmm.
We've
I
wandered
got
down
something.
a wild road here. You didn't even have one in your back pocket. You didn't have one in the chamber.
Dude, I'm just out here. I'm just out here saying stuff, and you're
Apparently.
just supposed to respond to me. Kind of a good one for kind of mixing the horror with the comedy that I think, if would be kind of solid, is if she's an up and comer, Rebecca McKendry could be fun.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, she did Glorious, so maybe she has some affinity for it. Trying to think of other people. I'm gonna go to my Voodoo because that'll actually be good for me there. Cocaine Bear is streaming at home already.
Oh, there we go. Highly recommend.
Oh yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend.
Maybe we get like a Robert Eggers to do it.
Robert Eggers do it. It's real fucking serious.
Very good. Like straight face value. Like this is a mythical creature. It's just horrible.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to think. Like,
Thank you for posing the question with no answer, sir. I appreciate
oh
that.
fuck you! I gave you Rebecca McKendry. You said James Gunn.
James Gunn's top notch.
Ryan Johnson.
Exactly. There we go.
There you go. There's another
That's really
solid
it.
one. He did Stab 8.
Wonderful.
I'm actually doing my best to pull out a pretty solid answer. I'm just trying to think, like, because it is such a specific character. It's like I'd
Yeah, I
have to
know.
know, like, if they're into it. Because, like, I feel like we could do a bang up Leprechaun movie, but I think we could do everything justice because we have a
You're
podcast
biased.
where we talk about horror films and we're the best. So,
Exactly. That question.
Dan Trachtenberg, he saved one franchise. He can do it again.
There you go. Revitalize it. Let's get Danny McBride.
Stop. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Maybe a Jennifer Kent.
Okay, maybe. I
Let's
don't
get it.
know. After seeing Babadook and The Nightingale, I feel like
I think the Nightingale has a similar tone to Leprechaun.
the Nightingale is hard to watch. It's a great movie, but it's fucking tough, bro.
vicious.
Like,
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't think I want to see a Leprechaun movie by Jennifer Kent with that. Like, great filmmaker, love her stuff, but goddamn, that would be a
Wild.
really hard. Actually, I think Ty West would do a good job.
You're just throwing Ty West and everything. You're like,
Fuck you.
X is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I could have said Damian Leone.
Ooh, you know what? He could do it.
I'm
That'd
sure
be
he
graphic.
could.
It'd be fucking
Real
graphic.
fucking gory. Just give it to M. Night. Call it a day.
There we go. What's the twist?
It was never
Leprechaun's
the
a
Leprechaun.
gremlin.
Or it was just Warwick Davis dressed up.
There you go. So
It's actually super meta, and there was
becomes
no
very
Leprechaun.
Scooby Doo at the end of it.
Take the makeup off. Take it off. Well, boy. This kind of sucks. Last little bit of news I'll leave us on is Sam Neill. Diagnosed with stage 3 blood cancer.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Why would you end us on a somber note, sir?
Because you couldn't come up with a director for the Leprechaun remake.
Unbelievable.
It's all good. It's actually very tragic, but I think I think he'll pull through.
Absolutely, it's in the mouth of madness.
He has to.
Done and done.
100%. Hey, if you buy something off of horrormerch.com and you use the code March, you get a free Leprechaun pop with a purchase of $50 or more.
Oh, well, damn.
Get the Toonie Terrors, which I want so bad to just spend all my money on Toonie Terrors.
I love the way they look.
I do. Did you see the new ones?
No, I don't think so. Captain
Spaulding is one. They got Elvira, the vampire, and
I think I did see Elvira.
What is it? Svengoolie?
Svengoolie,
yeah. So, a couple of those. I at least would really like to get the Killer Clowns, and because I think they hit good. Way to depress the crowd. Sorry, my bad. I'm just reporting the news. Anyway, fine. I gotta bring up the audience again. I got nothing. I fucked it all up. I'm sorry.
Done and done.
I'm sorry.
All our 3 viewers,
I ruined this. I ruined it. No, Evil Dead Rise has been getting great reviews. I'm excited for it. That's where I'll bring us back up. I'm looking forward to it. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Doesn't mean anything, but I'm damn excited about it.
Scream 5 meant everything.
Yes,
perfect reviews.
Perfect reviews. Excellent film. 0 flaws.
Exceptional filmmaking, just like 100%. Leprechaun.
Yes, but I think that about does it for us. When you say?
I think so. I think we've talked to our fullest extent here.
We're kind of just running ourselves in circles at this point, but I'm tired. I've had a good time. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this. I always like when we get on here and can kind of field some questions, watch a little movie, do a little talking about it. You know, one of these days, maybe they'll find some way where we can actually show the movie. You know, maybe if we do a Patreon at some point, we can get to a little private room where we can actually show the movie and talk and stuff. So that way everybody can watch it with us, be a little more interactive, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
So, Dylan's all about his intimate settings.
I do. I just want people to be able to watch the movie because I don't know, like, I don't think anybody actually watches it with us, but
no,
it is fun to talk, you know.
Again, it's people talking to people here. That's what we do.
We do our best. We do our best on the test. And, you know, we did gain a sub while we were on here, which was cool. So, gotta love that. All righty. Well, campers, dreamers, and babysitters, that about wraps us up here. So, I think that's it. Stay tuned for Sunday Scaries coming out in a couple days. Got a lot of great content coming down the way as well. Stuff we can't really talk about yet, but you know, we got a few more opportunities shot down the pipeline at us this week, which was pretty exciting. Some potential opportunities in the future. One really, really big one that we're really hoping pans out, I'd love to talk to you guys about it, but of course, don't want to jinx it, don't want to say anything before it does. And of course, working on all kinds of fun stuff behind the scenes. I'm working on an Evil Dead essay, which I'm going to release before the new film comes out. Luke's got himself a couple of things in there that he's, working on, which, could be a good bit of fun. Don't shake your head. I know you got some stuff. So, but, alrighty. So I guess until next time, I am Dylan Newell.
And I'm Luke Janesco.
And remember, stay scared.